Hi everybody, this is Janice. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how what was most exciting to me about this July stamp of the month, the Storybook Alphabet stamp of the month. I think these make great monograms or alphabets for scrapbooking or even for card making, but I love the fact that they are line art so that you can color them. Watercolor pencils, watercolor markers, watercolors, alcohol markers, anything really. You can use it for home decor, just so many things, and it's so pretty and adorable. Kind of hard to see it there, but let's see, let's get a piece of white paper maybe. Here. So see how cute these are? They are adorable. I really like them. So let me show you what I've done. Okay, so I used my Close to My Heart dies. They come 4 in a pack, and I used the largest one and then the next to the smallest one here to make these little embellishments that can be used on scrapbook pages as well as cards. And so I thought, oh, love would be a really cute, I think it's just perfect for that. And then I used my watercolors. These are the Close to My Heart ones. I've numbered them so that if I am at a class or workshop or something, and a lot of times people want to ask me, well, which purple did you use? I don't remember. I don't know, just pick whichever one you like. But people want to know. And so this way, if they number it and I numbered it the same way, starting from the lighter colors, being number 1 is the white, going all the way down to 36, then I can say, oh, I used number 19. And then they don't get frustrated with me because I'm just kind of a haphazard kind of person. I don't remember what color I used, and I can make a note to myself and say, okay, I used blue number 24 or whatever. Okay, and I didn't think of that. That was not my genius idea, because again, I'm not detail oriented like that. I got it from other consultants that have done that, so the credit goes to them. Okay, so I have put a little A on here. I always use A for an example because that's my son's first initial. And I'm going to show you that you can use your regular archival ink. If you don't have an embossing black, and you may have a pigment black, then you can skip this step and just use your pigment ink that is black. Or if you have VersaFine ink, you may have that. That is ink that you can emboss. If you have, let's see, what else can you emboss with? Yeah, those black inks are embossable, all right? But dye ink dries the fastest, okay? And so that's why you can't emboss with just black dye ink. You need it to stay wet longer in order for you to sprinkle the embossing powder. So that's why you use your Versamark, okay? So here's what you do. You always start with the Versamark, okay? And start with a clean stamp. Let's just make sure, because otherwise it'll get on your ink pad, and it really won't ruin it, but it may just irritate you and bother you. So clean your stamp. I mean, I got a little bit of an A there, see that? But it doesn't bother me. And then I'm going to use my regular black dye ink. And again, dye ink dries the fastest, but because we started with Versamark, that's going to make it so that it stays wet longer. Then I'm going to take one of our circles. I cut my circles out of white, watercolor paper, because I like the way watercolor paper accepts watercolors. You could use Bristol paper as well. It's thick, but the fibers are not the same as watercolor paper, so I mean, you know, you could still use it. Okay, so there we got a nice A impression. Then we're going to take our little tweezers. Make sure you keep that when you get your tweezers, because it really does. These are very sharp. These are the Close to My Heart ones, and they're so sharp that they can injure you. Okay, so be mindful of that. And then I'm using very fine, super fine, clear embossing powder that I put in one of these little tubs that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I'm pretty sure is where I got them. I think they came two to a pack, so great way to keep your embossing powder. Keeps the mess down to a minimum. And then I'm going to blast it with some heat. And I'm going to start from the back. This gives it a chance to heat up. And then you'll start seeing it melt. And move to the front. And you'll see it get nice and shiny. And that's how you know that you're done, because it gets super glossy and super shiny. If you see that it's chunky in certain parts, then just keep moving it in a circular fashion like that. And then now you'll see that it is raised and shiny. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now another ink that you can use is archival ink. Archival ink is waterproof. All right, so you don't have to emboss this. I suppose that you could, but I mean, what's the point? It's waterproof, it's not going to smear, whereas dye ink is water-based, and so it would smear if you don't, you know, do something to it like the Versamark. Okay, does that make sense? I know it's very confusing to people, but Versamark, use with your dye ink. Okay, it says it right here, water-based dye ink. Archival is solvent-based, and it is acid-free, and it is permanent. So no need to do anything else to this one. All right, let's do a different letter. How about, let's do my first initial. Let's do J. I'll take the A and put it back over here. And like I've said, if you watched my earlier video, I said that this is our July stamp of the month, which means that when you place an order that's $50 or more, you can buy it for $5. Or you can just pay $17.95 if you don't want anything else, you just want this, you can do that. Okay, so let's put the lid on that. And I'm doing a giveaway. When you place an order under July Jubilee, you will be entered to win 3 Shinhan markers. They are right here. These 3, these colors. Okay, very pretty colors. And these are alcohol-based markers. And if you've never tried them, this is a great opportunity for you to give it a try. Okay, so like I said, July Jubilee, that's where you want to place your order. All right, so let me show you how I colored these. I don't remember what colors I did, but I used my water brush. You fill it up with water. That's it. How simple is that? For this blue one, let me show you how I got the perfect line around there, because I know you want to know. Inquiring minds. I line it back up like it just came out of the machine, right inside of the cut line. See that? Then I set it down, hold it. There's these little notches there that'll make the circle not perfect, like it'll make a little bump. So just be careful if that's gonna bother you. Just gonna go around it. If not, you can just make it a stitchy little look if you don't want it to be perfect like this. See, I went around it several times. This is more my style, where this is like a super neat style. If that's what you like, then do that. And then I just made 2 little hearts on either side, but you could put bling on either side, or you could use your enamel dots, or your Nouveau dots, you know, whatever you might like. Or you could even put, remember eyelets? You could put some eyelets there and decorate it and make it a cute little embellishment. So to color it with the watercolors, all I did was I went here. Nope, no I didn't. I did number 25. And I used this little towel just to clean the brush off a little bit. And so I started down at the bottom. And then I clean my brush. Really, the way I should do this is start at the lightest color and then move to the next one. And then move to the next one and just keep going. And then just, let's see, let's add some more of that blue. And then you can just take your brush and just move down. And you get kind of an ombre look. And move up until it blends. Okay. Then for this one, now I did this one with the embossing powder, but I'm going to show you here what I did. I did number 28, green number 28, and I just went along the outside like this. What I love about the embossing is it is kind of a wall where the color will not go in, so I like that, but it's okay. It's nice if you already have the archival and you want to just go ahead and start working with your stamps, then just use your archival ink. Okay, and there you have it. I love that green one. Green's my favorite color. And then, like I said, I just put this inside of here. I recommend doing this first because if you get your marker, your journaling marker, this is also from Close to My Heart, if you get it wet, you could ruin it, and you don't want to do that because this is a really nice pen. Uh-oh. All right, that's okay. See, that's why I like to make it messy, because then it won't matter if you... So what I do is I just go around it. I tend to do 3. That's just what I do. And then I put a couple little details. And then what I did was I took, I think it was number 26, and I spattered a little bit of ink to give it a little more interest. And that's it. That's how I did that one. Now for the love one, I used my stamp Perfect, and I put the what I did was I started, oh, I got spatter on this one. I put the circle in first and then I lined up the letters, but now it's ready to show you. So see, it'll line up perfectly. I'm just going to use the archival for this one, so I'm running out of time. So this way I can make a few. And there you have it. Perfect. Okay, and so then I just, again, same thing you saw me do, I colored it. With this one I used the largest circle, again, lined it up, and just went around. You could do stitch marks if you wanted instead, do like little stitch marks. Oops, those are awful. Let's just not do that. Just go around a couple times, and I went outside the line, so I'm gonna make it messy and stitchy looking. I like that look. Could add a couple leaves if you want, so that it looks like a vine. Like that, and there you have it. So then you can color it or leave it blank. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.